Tanteros. Here with us today, Harris Faulkner, Sandra Smith, actress Stacey Dash, and today's Dr. Keith.
Well, thanks. I don't mind being outnumbered in this way.
Oh, okay,
no, this
good.
is the best way you
odds,
could possibly
right?
be outnumbered.
Yes, well, it's always lively when you're here. We always seem to make news, so we'll get right into the news.
I don't know why, but
it's
it
weird.
seems so clearly true, and people seem to
It'll be a very
resonate with
exciting
them
60
strongly.
minutes. All right, well, in less than an hour.
So looking at a situation where it is getting worse by the day.
And Dr. Keith, those vaccinations not available yet. So I think in the meantime, how should people be feeling out there? I mean, it's cause for concern that there's another worker that was on a Frontier Airlines flight, and there could be over 100 people potentially exposed.
It's certainly cause for concern, right? 75 or so healthcare workers who worked with Mr. Duncan, most or nearly all of them are fine. Again, be reassured. However, a second case now tests
an abandoned army base or an underutilized military base, Sandra, maybe somewhere else, not one of these hospitals that could be more vulnerable.
Well,
more than he let on last night.
Yeah, I believe he did. How could he not? I mean, and I have a question.
I was going to say, Harris, I watched that interview last night, and he was dodging Megan's question about an outbreak. He was dodging. He was trying to play CYA.
Time to identify those best centers.
Yes.
Identify some transport vehicles, helicopters, whatever, that are dedicated. Yesterday, why doesn't the president, if he's going to use an executive order, why would...
There's as many employees at the CDC, by the way, as Chuck E. Cheese in the U.S. I found that fun fact. What happens if there's an outbreak, Sandra, in an already stressed city like a Detroit? I mean, yesterday, the CDC came out and they said, we're finally changing our protocol. Here it is. Isn't it a little bit too late? I mean, I'm glad they're doing it now, but isn't it too late for them to have changed a protocol that's been in place for weeks?
Well, you go back to the statement.
They're not trained to do this. Then you train them immediately.
Well, correct.
And if you feel like you can't, you get these people to a place. I mean, you'll coming in. What about the people who get infected while they're here?
Well, what we don't need, Andrea, is another hospital, the head of the hospital down in Dallas, saying we're a hospital that may have done some things differently with the benefit of what we know today. Let's prevent that from happening by preparing these hospitals so they don't have to learn from another industry.
Or preparing special centers. I still think it should not just be hospitals. It has to be specifically for Ebola only.
Stacey, what if the administration would have taken this more seriously in August, when the president was dancing in Martha's Vineyard? Maybe test the protocols weeks ago, or stop flights weeks ago.
Andrea, that would mean he would have to be in front of a problem. He waits, he's behind until it's a crisis.
Exactly right. And I think there are two crises here. One is the physical
problem with this store chain putting out.
And for some guys, it kind of freaks them out. Now, the other question I have.
So is the glass better half empty or half full? I'm depressed after reading that. I'm a half
You're in the right
full
place.
girl.
I will rebuild you. No, look, business guy Dave Furneaux yesterday, he said my philosophy is.
I agree with this writer. And I think that's because it's a matter of setting the bar so low when you're a pessimist that even the small victories make you so happy.
Isn't that a sad way
And by the way, I am getting a lot of tweets about me sounding pessimistic on the economy earlier. We're talking about the Dow is now down 350 points.
Like to, if the glass is half full, it's half full, right? And then there's like a floater of negativity, like a champagne floater, just to keep you grounded. Just a little bit of pessimism.
I like
so you
what
can
you're
look
drinking.
at things critically, but most of the time, all optimistic.
Stacey's an optimist.
I have a lot of faith. I believe.
That's it.
Yes,
That is
I
optimism.
believe that whatever is bad can be turned into something good. Because that's
that.
Great.
God.
Negative people stink.
Okay. Wow. Gina Maddox writes on my Twitter page, maybe the glass is just twice as big as it needs to be. It's been a fun hour. We've tackled a lot of stuff here, big topics too. Stay with us for Outnumbered Overtime on the web, foxnews.com/outnumbered, and click on that Overtime tab. There's a live chat. Get in on our conversation. For now, the TV version tomorrow at noon Eastern, happening now.